Today, we're going to unpack a modern parable that does something pretty clever. It takes a classic horror trope, the haunted doll, and blends it with some really powerful religious lessons. This all comes from a story on the Islamic Kids official YouTube channel, and trust me, it's a fascinating one. And the whole thing kicks off with this single, really chilling line: "She will always be with you." I mean, it sounds like a promise, but it feels like a warning, doesn't it? It's delivered by this mysterious shopkeeper, and it just sets this incredibly ominous tone for everything that's about to happen. All right, so let's meet our main characters. We've got two siblings, Abdullah and his younger sister, Fatima. They're out exploring one day when they stumble upon this old, dusty toy shop that they have never seen before. And just to make it extra creepy, the door just creaks open all on its own, pretty much inviting them in. So they step inside, and Fatima is immediately captivated. She sees this strange, smiling doll named Labubu and is just instantly hooked. But her older brother, Abdullah, he's got a bad feeling about the place. So right away, you've got this conflict brewing, his caution versus her just really wanting that doll. And well, her desire is pretty overwhelming. Okay, and this is where things get really weird. The shopkeeper appears, but he refuses to take any money for the doll. He just hands it over for free, while repeating that same creepy phrase, "She will always be with you." I mean, a free toy that comes with a warning, that's a giant flashing red light that this is not your average purchase. So they take the doll home, and now the consequences of that little trip to the mysterious toy shop, well, they start to kick in. Once Labubu is in their house, the real terror begins. The story does a fantastic job of building the suspense over 3 nights. It starts small, unsettling things around the house, weird noises, a door shaking by itself. Then it escalates. Night 2, Fatima starts sleepwalking, clutching that doll. And by the 3rd night, they hear it, the doll's laughter. And it's not a cute laugh. It's this demonic sound echoing through the house. And this is that moment, the point of no return. It's not just bumps in the night anymore. Fatima herself, the one who wanted the doll so badly, sees it move with her own eyes. That just confirms their worst fears. The threat is real, and it is right there in the room with them. So the whole vibe of the haunting shifts here. It's not just about creating a spooky atmosphere anymore. This becomes a direct, personal attack. Whatever is behind this doll, it's not hiding in the shadows now. It is actively trying to take control of Fatima. And just look at this contrast. It is so creepy. You've got Fatima sleepwalking with her eyes closed. She's completely vulnerable, totally unaware of what's happening. But the doll she's clutching, its eyes are glowing in the dark. What a chilling image. It tells you exactly who's in charge in that moment. That 3rd night is really the climax of the terror. Abdullah looks up and sees Labubu's shadow on the wall, and it's growing bigger and bigger. And then the shadow speaks. It actually talks to him, confronting him for trying to get in the way and claiming its permanent place as Fatima's friend. But right here, at the story's absolute darkest moment, everything pivots. Abdullah is terrified, he's cornered, but he shifts from being a victim to being the hero. And his weapon? It's not something you can hold. It's his faith. So just as this demonic entity is asserting its power, something clicks in Abdullah's mind. He has a flashback to a super important lesson from his religious teacher, the Malvi. And that one memory, that's the key. That's how he's going to fight back against this evil that seems completely unbeatable. And what's really interesting here is that the story gives a very clear, actionable solution. It's a direct spiritual defense. Abdullah starts reciting a specific prayer, one that seeks refuge in Allah from Shaitan. Now, in Islamic belief, Shaitan, or Satan, is the ultimate tempter, always trying to lead people astray. So by saying this prayer, Abdullah isn't just whispering words. He is directly confronting that evil force. And the effect, it is immediate. And it is absolute. The second Abdullah recites that prayer, a brilliant light just fills the room. The entity screams, and the doll, Labubu, just vanishes in a puff of smoke. Poof! Gone. Fatima is left unconscious, but she's safe. In the end, faith completely triumphed over fear. Okay, so the scary part is over, the conflict is resolved. Now let's pull back and analyze the deeper meaning. Because this isn't just a horror story, right? It's a parable, and it's designed to teach some really important spiritual and moral lessons. So to really get what this story is doing, we have to understand what a parable is. Basically, it's a simple story, like, 2 kids finding a creepy doll. that's used to explain much bigger, more complex ideas about things like morality, faith, and the constant battle between good and evil. And this quote from the Malvi really spells out the core message loud and clear. After the whole ordeal, he gives them the direct theological explanation. He says that the doll was basically a container for shaitan, a hidden evil. But, and this is the crucial part, the ultimate protection against that evil is invoking the name of Allah. So the story doesn't leave you guessing. It wraps up by laying out its morals very clearly. First, not everything that looks good on the outside is good for you. Second, when you're scared, turn to your faith. Third, it gives you specific tools, prayers, to fight off evil. And finally, it reminds you to listen to your elders, something Abdullah tried to get his sister to do right at the beginning. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. The story uses a literal haunted toy, sure, but the parable's warning can be applied to so much more. So, what are the modern toys in our world that might be hiding unexpected dangers? What are those things that look so attractive, so appealing on the surface, but could actually be harmful in the long run? It's a pretty powerful idea to reflect on, for sure.